Hello everybody. Today we are going to review what we've learned so far about polygons. So our first one here is a quadrilateral, and we're looking for the value of x here. So a quadrilateral is one that we might just remember is going to have a total of 360 degrees. So what if we don't remember that? Well, it's got four sides, so we can do 4 minus 2, which tells us the number of triangles we could make out of it, times 180. So that's 2 times 180, which is 360. So we know it's going to have a total of 360 degrees. Okay, so I know 3 of the angles here. So I've got x plus 90 plus 90 plus 45. So that's all 4 angles, is going to equal 360. Okay, so I can subtract 90, 90, and 45. So let's see what that would equal. So we've got 360 minus that 90, minus the other 90, minus 45, and that leaves me with 135 degrees. So when I subtract 90 and 45 from both sides, I'm left with x equals 135. Okay, our next one, first we need to count the sides. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sides. So we'll do 7 minus 2 times 180, so that's 5 times 180. Okay, so we'd be able to triangulate this into 5 triangles at 180 degrees each. 5 times 180 is 900. So there's a total of 900 degrees. So that's x plus 130, 110, 120, 130, 140, 140 equals 900. And instead of writing out each individual one, I'm just going to add them up on the calculator. 130 plus 110 plus 120 plus 130 plus 140 plus 140 is 770. Okay, so I can subtract 770 from both sides. So 900 minus 770 is 130. So x is 130. Okay, our next one is all exterior angles, and exterior angles always will add up to 360 degrees. So I've got x and 3x, so that's 4x plus, and then I've got 40, 70, 60, and 50, and let's just put those all together. 40 plus 70 plus 60 plus 50 is 220, and exterior angles always add up to 360. So minus 220, so I get 4x equals 360 minus 220, that's 140. And divide both sides by 4, so 140 divided by 4 is 35. So x is 35. Okay, next up we're looking at parallelograms. Find the value of the variables for the parallelograms here. So in a parallelogram, opposite sides are congruent. So that means that 5x plus 5 is equal to 55, and it means that 3y minus 7 equals 3x plus 4. Okay, now this one I can't solve yet until I solve this one for x. So minus 5x equals 50, and divide both sides by 5, and I get x is 10. Okay, now that I know that x is 10, I'll substitute that in here. So I get 3y minus 7 equals 3 times 10 plus 4. And that's 30 plus 4 is 34. So I'll add 7. So I get 3y equals 41. And divide both sides by 3, and I get y equals 41 thirds. 41 thirds, or that would be 13 2/3 if I want that as a mixed number. Okay, next up, in a parallelogram, diagonals bisect each other, so that means these are congruent. So I get 2x plus 4.75y equals 15, and these are congruent. Now, this also has an x and y. So I'm going to have two equations with two variables. So I've got 4x plus 6.5y equals 18. So to solve this set of equations here, so I've got a system of equations, I could multiply this equation right here by -2. So I'm going to bring it right down here, and along the way I'm going to multiply it by -2. So I get -4x, and then 4.75 times -2 is -9.5, so minus 9.5y, and then 15 times -2 is -30. And now I can combine these two equations. 4x minus 4x cancels. 6.5y minus 9.5y, 6.5 minus 9.5 is -3. So I get -3y equals, and then 18 minus 30, that's -12. And I can divide both sides by -3. -12 divided by -3 is +4. So there's my value of y. Now I can plug that value of y into either of these two original equations. I'll do this top equation here. 2x plus 4.75 times y, which is 4, equals 15. 4.75 times 4 is 19. So this is 2x plus 19 equals 15. So minus 19, and I get 2x equals -4, and divide both sides by 2, and I get x equals -2. So there's my values of x and of y. And our last one in this section here, I know that opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent, so I know x is 110. I know that consecutive angles of a parallelogram are supplementary, so I know these must add up to 180 degrees. So I've got 110 here, so I know that y plus 110 equals 180. And when I subtract 110, I get y is 70. Okay? And I can use these opposite angles being congruent to get z. Since I know this over here is 70 degrees, I can say that 5z is equal to 70. And I can divide both sides by 5. Okay, so 70 divided by 5 is 14. Okay, now find the value of x that makes the quadrilateral a parallelogram. If this quadrilateral is going to be a parallelogram, then diagonals must bisect each other, so 7x plus 14 must equal 5x plus 22. Okay, so I can subtract 5x from both sides, and I can subtract 14 from both sides and get 2x equals 8. And divide by 2 and I get x is 4. If this quadrilateral is going to be a parallelogram, then opposite sides must be congruent, so 10x minus 80 must equal 8x. So I can subtract 10x from both sides and get -80 equals -2x, and divide both sides by -2 and get x equals 40. Find the measure of one interior angle and one exterior angle of a regular nonagon. Nonagon has 9 sides, so I can do for A, 9 minus 2 times 180. That tells me how many total degrees, and divide by 9 because it's regular, and that will give me one interior angle. So 9 minus 2 is 7, so 7 times 180 divided by 9 is 140. So each angle of this nonagon, of a regular nonagon, is 140 degrees. And for B, one exterior. Exterior is always add up to 360, and since it's regular, they're all the same, so I can just divide that by 9. 360 divided by 9 is 40 degrees. Notice that the interior and exterior add up to 180. That will always be the case. A polygon's interior angles are 160 degrees each. Classify the polygon. So for this polygon, if I do the each interior angle formula, that's n minus 2 times 180 divided by n, I get 160. I can multiply both sides by n to cancel that out. So I get n minus 2 times 180 equals 160n. Then I'll distribute 180n minus 360 equals 160n. I can subtract 180n from both sides and get negative 360 equals negative 20n. And if I divide by negative 20, I get n equals negative 360 divided by negative 20 is 18. So classify the polygon. This is an 18gon. Okay, now if you're taking this quiz in my classroom, you're going to get extra credit if you give it the actual scientific name. This is an octadecagon. Decagon. 8 and 10gon. Okay, then our last one, a polygon's exterior angles are about 16.3636 degrees each. Classify the polygon. So exterior angles, the single exterior angle formula for a regular polygon is 360 divided by n. For this particular polygon, we get 16.3636 degrees. Okay, now this is a case where we can switch and divide. This is just like being over 1, and we can switch and divide. So we get 360 over 16.3636 equals n. So 360 divided by 16.3636, and let's try that again. That should be a decimal there. 22.0000. Okay, so this is a 22gon. Okay, so this was an approximate angle measure, and the sides can't really be a decimal. So this is a 22gon. There's the non-scientific name. This is an icosahedron. 20 and 2gon.